So let's nip this man versus bear conversation in the bud right the now. The question is, would you rather be in the forest alone with a man or a bear? Not a rapist or a bear. What percentage of men do y'all think are rapists? That's what's really getting to me, because y'all make it seem like it's a 50-50% chance. Like, oh, he might me, he might not. Have you lost your mind? And before y'all answer that in the comments, because it is a question and I do want an answer, what percentage of men do y'all think are rapists? And when you answer, I want you to put it in the form of a sentence of the men that are in your life. So that way we can bring this back to reality. So I want you to say, of my 3 brothers, 2 of them are. Of my 6 male cousins, 3 of them are. Of my 5 male friends, 2 of them are. I want you to give me those numbers. And I think about this in real life because I have brothers in real life. And if somebody out there chose to be in the forest with a bear as opposed to one of my brothers because you thought there was even a chance that one of them might rape you, fight me right now. No, fight me right now.
Listen, she's bringing logic to the whole bear versus man situation. And this is what a lot of women don't use. They don't use logic. You know, if you think about it, of all the men in your life, how many of them would you say have, you know, are considered, you know, rapists? Like what she's saying, how many of them are, you know, out here doing that type of stuff? And when you think about it, I have heard women say all of the men in my life are good men and they're not this and they're not that. But when they're talking, they're speaking from a delusional state. They're not really speaking from a logical perspective, because when you start adding logic to it, their points just go out the window. You know, it just doesn't make any sense. But, you know, there are a lot of women out here, and I correlate this whole bear versus man thing to relationships, because there are a lot of women out here who are complaining about men, and some women, quite frankly, depending on a man's finances. There are women who are out here solely dependent upon a man for his finances. And a lot of these women don't see these men as, you know, somebody who will take advantage of them. They're not afraid of these men. The majority of the men that women have in their circles, they're not even afraid of them. They're not even thinking about them doing something to them. But when women are on these social media podcasts or you know, in the spotlight, they say the most stupidest things. And, you know, but in real life, they don't even move that way. Online, you would think that every woman is just so fearful of every man that comes in contact with her. When we see that is completely not the case. That is completely not the case. Women are maneuvering around with men, women, with everybody, and they're not clutching their pearls and super afraid of every man that they come encounter with. But they act like when they're on these podcasts or whatever on social media, when they're talking about men, they act like men are so scary. Oh my God. And that they're in, you know, shielded clothing and they're so covered up and they're so afraid that a man just gonna reach out and attack them. They talk as if that is happening. And in real life, it is not. Do these things occur? Yes, it would be delusional to think that they don't, but it's not the majority of the time. And it's not the majority of men, but the way they talk, they make it seem like every man is doing this. But you gotta think that if every man is doing this, why are women so comfortable to walk outside with their T and A out? If these men are so crazy and you're so afraid, you would think you would have a paper sack over your body so they won't look your way at all. Why is it that women feel so comfortable to be free and liberated, and they talk about being with all these different men, and you're not afraid to go to their houses, you're not afraid to get flown out, you're not afraid to be in a man's presence that you don't even know. If a man offers to fly you out, you going. You don't think about, oh my God, he could be a serial killer. Oh my God, I think that. I actually do. I'm like, well, no, I'm not gonna go get flown out by a total stranger. But the way a lot of these women are moving, they're not moving and they're not acting as if they're so terrified of men to the point that they would rather take a 10,000-pound bear over a regular man. You're so afraid of men that you would rather risk your life with a 10,000-pound bear over a man. That is delusional. And that is just ridiculous. And that's just a narrative they tried to push, and it doesn't make any sense. But a lot of these very women are out here complaining about men not approaching, men not paying for dates, and men don't want to do all this. But no, the men are moving away. Y'all are terrified of them, right? You're so afraid they're going to do something to you. So a man don't want to put himself in that position to where you're thinking that he's a creep, that he's going to just take advantage of you and do it. So men are saying, no, we can't approach him. We are not approaching because they're afraid of us. But now that they're not approaching, y'all out here saying, why aren't they approaching? Oh my God, what's wrong with the men? Where are the men? Where are the men? This is what they're saying. But y'all, it's mind-boggling. I tell you, it is ridiculous that they don't see themselves. Oh my God. When I tell you it's a gift to be able to see yourself, it really is, because it changes a lot of things. You become more at peace. You become a more peaceful person when you realize you and you work on you. But baby, they can't see the forest for the trees. It's like you don't realize the things that y'all say, the things that you put out in the atmosphere, the things that you say on social media, You don't think that men are listening? Men hear the things that y'all say, and this is why they don't want to deal with y'all, because they don't want to be in this Me Too movement and be put in these situations because of the way that women feel and think, and not look at what's logical and what's real and what's reality. Like, a lot of these women are very, like, it's crazy work. And if I was a man, I would stay far away too, because I would, and the same thing, you know what? I have sons. So you best believe I'm telling my sons about the nature of these women, because I don't want my sons caught in a situation that they can't get themselves out of or have to go through a lot of turmoil dealing with these types. Hell no. So I just think, you know, it's definitely something that you have to work on as women, because the mentality is crazy. And I know women and men don't think alike, but Jesus Christ, you still could have some logical sense in your head. You still could be self-aware. There are still things you could do as a woman to make yourself better, you know, because this is getting ridiculous and it's not cute. It's really not. And a lot of things women just take lightly and so loosely, and men are looking at this as in a serious nature. Like, no, I don't want to be caught up in the shenanigans that women tend to create. So they don't want to approach you. They don't want to date you. They're moving on because of this type of rhetoric. You're so afraid of men that you would rather take your chances with a bear that could crack your skull, that could just pounce on you and you'll be dead in seconds. You would rather take a chance with a bear. But then you have women who say there are women who are actually stronger than men and who could beat the hell out of. Then you have women who say that there are women who could beat the hell out of a man who's bigger and stronger. Y'all, it's like you tell the truth when you want, or you say things just to justify your points, and it goes back and forth. It's not consistent. But when you try to make a point, you just say anything. So you use different points when you want to, but when you want trying to stick to one way, it's all, oh my God, everybody's these women. A 10,000 pound bear. You rather be in the woods. Take your chance that bear could kill you in instance. A man, you might have a fighting chance. You have a better. I know you have a better chance with a man. And I think women know this, but it's like it's a delusional world that we're in a delusional state. And I don't know if this is being done on purpose. I don't know, but it's just very scary. It's very scary. It really is, you know. But once again, for the women who say, oh, they would choose the bear, they either have a man, they have brothers who they know are good people. It's like you're not thinking about your immediate family. You think, because if you're not thinking about your immediate family, and you say, oh, I have good men in my life, well, you know, there are other people who probably have good men in their lives too. And yeah, you will protect your family, but you would accuse somebody else's good family members who are men of accuse them of something based off of your feelings. But you wouldn't want somebody to accuse your family members who are good men based off of their feelings. See, it's okay for you to think this way until somebody else thinks this way and use it against you, or use it against somebody in your family. See, they're thinking this way, and you think that, oh, everybody should think this way, until somebody thinks this way and accuses your family member of the very same things that you think. Then you'll finally get it. And then you realize, oh my God, no, not my brother, not my husband, not my son. My son doesn't do that. My son is a good person. He is not the things that you're saying. But that person is thinking the way you think. So you don't realize what you're putting out there until it comes all the way around and attacks your family. Then you'll get it. See, it's like people exclude themselves from this rhetoric. You put it out there and you want a group of people to join in on it, not realizing that by creating a mass of people who think like this is critical to you as well, and your family. Because while you think you're creating a group of women who are all, you know, have this united front, and y'all all think this way, you don't realize that one day that thinking might creep up on the men in your family. And I stress that because I think people, like the same way women don't understand this narrative of these gold digging women until they have a son, and their son is dating one of those types of women. And then you see how it's a problem, because you don't want your son with a gold digger. You don't want your son with an abusive woman who talks to him crazy and treats him horribly. You don't want your son with an old woman with 3-4 children by 4 different men. You don't want your son who doesn't have any kids and was raised right. You don't want your son with her. But when it's you, it's justifiable. You see? Oh my God. So it's once again, it's a selfish nature. But then when it directly affects your family, then you have a problem with it. Make it make sense, y'all. So yeah, once again, you know, I always thought this whole choosing the bear thing was so stupid. But a lot of these women would choose the bear. But you know, that bear can, but now they, you know, the men are walking away and the women are like, where are the men? No, you chose the bear, honey. This man, they don't expect these men who you are so afraid of to pay your goddamn bills. Oh my God. Yeah, the bear can't pay bills. You chose the bear. Go hang with the bear. See if you can get some money out the bear. Get the bear to get your nails done. Get the bear to pay your rent and pay your bills and take care of your kids. How about that? You're so afraid of men, and you rather walk away from the man who could actually help you in the woods. You rather go to the bear and damn they die, but you didn't turn around and want these men to come run to you in full steam ahead and give you their money and take care of you while you're afraid of them. How are you gonna build healthy relationships with men that you're afraid of? And you don't trust none of them. You rather a bear instead of a man. But y'all still looking to these men to pay y'all bills and marry y'all and do all these things for y'all, because y'all got to get the hell up out of here. That ain't gonna work out. And that's why it's not, because this delusional aspect that these women put out there, they don't realize it's affecting them negatively. But listen, y'all, this is some crazy work, I must say. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell, y'all know what it is. Let me know what you think of this whole video, y'all. Make sure you chime in and leave your thoughts, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.
DeeDeesReactions.